Hi, you're at Oaktree Cottage in New Zealand, and it is late in the spring. We're here in Oxford, New Zealand, and it's a subalpine climate. This garden, our front garden, is just on 12 months old. In fact, the garden under the ash tree is less than that. And this front border is also less than a year old. So I'll take you for a cruise around the gardens, and you can see what we've been up to in the last couple of years. So we're in the same front garden. I just thought we'd do this separate view. That's the driveway in. I jokingly refer to this garden as the friendship garden because 90% of what's here has been either gifted to me or is salvaged or propagated from seed or one little cutting. And this is what you can achieve if you're a mad keen gardener. A lot of these yellow irises here are salvaged from the Air River bed, where I found them in a lot of garden waste that had been dumped while I was walking the dogs one day. I've now got about 5 clumps of these yellow irises, and they're fragrant, which is really lovely. So here we are in the back garden. This is the garden I started first because the dining table and the kitchen window look out onto this garden, and you can see there's a lot of, we've got the part of a vegetable garden there. Our main herb garden is here, so it makes sense to have it straight off the kitchen garden. So there we are at the back of the house. So as I say, this garden wasn't started till just under 2 years ago. I think it's 21 months we moved here, and that's when I started making plans and doing things. So obviously it relies heavily on annuals and perennials to get a garden this established so quickly. Annuals and biannuals are really the way to go. The stump there was a walnut tree. It was dead on one side, and in the interest of safety we cut out the dead side, and then it looked horribly lopsided, so we've just created a little alpine garden. So we're still in the circle garden off the back door. I'll see if I can pan around without falling over. And we're coming out now onto the kitchen garden, which has been vastly extended since we came here. And most of the new extensions are probably only 3 months old. So as you can see, the kitchen garden's kind of doubles as a floral garden, mainly because I ran out of places to put peonies and pinks and foxgloves self-seeded and calendulas self-seeded, and I haven't got the heart to pull them out. I thin them, but not pull them out completely. So here in the kitchen garden this season we've got loads of rhubarb, perennial leeks, which I absolutely love because they're so hardy in North Canterbury. Pok choy, which with our climate that runs hot and cold is bolted almost as soon as it touched the ground. But we just eat the flower heads out of it and keep going. We've got a quince tree in here. Beautiful angelicas going to seed. The bees and the insects absolutely love the seed heads of the angelica. The apple tree behind there is a peas good nonsuch. In the back there we've got two, well, some people like to call them hugelkultur beds. Mine's a variation of a compost heap really. But potatoes and pumpkins and Jerusalem artichokes love growing in that sort of environment. So there they are. I hate mowing and they love growing, so win-win. In the back there is my main pumpkin patch, although I do have pumpkin growing out among the flowers in the front garden. We've got Jerusalem artichokes, globe artichokes, horseradish, more perennial onions, and some potatoes. So there we are. Late spring in Canterbury, New Zealand. Happy gardening, folks.